The indigenous group, as the United Nations says, is one of the most disadvantaged and vulnerable groups in the world. While they lack of basic services as clean water, electricity, education, public health, they are also discriminated, rejected, and treated aggressively by the society. The United Nations has taken action and decided to create the Declaration of the Rights of the Indigenous People in 2007. While the United Nations and the world have worked in reaching a better quality of life to the indigenous people, Mexico is also in the spot where they need to take action. Mexico is one of the most multicultural and diverse countries where indigenous groups live on. Indigenous communities say that many of them are far from having a climate of equality. Most of the indigenous communities are in the situation of extreme poverty. They are discriminated because of their ethnicity and social class. Nowadays, the Mexican government is working on the Programa Nacional de los Pueblos Indígenas 2018-2024, México, which has these promises. Daremos preferencia a los más humildes y a los olvidados, en especial a los pueblos indígenas de México. Andrés Manuel López Obrador, President of Mexico. The state is recognizing the indigenous communities as subjects of public law under the new mandate in relationship with the creation of Instituto Nacional de los Pueblos Indígenas (INPI). This program enforces the topics of autonomy, an horizontal relationship with their political, legal, economic, social, and cultural institutions in order to give effective responses to their old demands and aspirations for life, guaranteeing their rights and strengthening their cultures and collective identities. And finally, evaluation of their natural resources and territory or lands. The government recognizes their rights. The government recognizes them as citizens, and they are programs and organizations, but they are not doing as much as they should. The government takes away their lands and resources for urbanize and expand the cities. They don't have opportunities of education, and a few schools that they have access to, they have to learn Spanish because they don't have schools that in their own languages. They are excluded of every institutions in charge of justice, and the few participation they have is ignored. And also they have and also they don't even have well informed what is the situation of the current pandemic we're living on. They don't have reliable information of the infectious diseases that we have, because they don't have it in their own languages. The information is not available in the language they speak. They are being marginalized in every possible way. Even many defenders of the rights have been assassinated, like the case of Telésforo Santiago Enriquez, that was a coordinator of the program that promoted the indigenous languages and their culture, but he was assassinated and the government didn't act fast to prevent this casualty. There is still a lot of work we as a country need to do about the recognition and the respect of the rights of the indigenous people. In Mexico, the government had to work and had the obligation to promote these rights and to respect them. But it's also the work of the society and the citizens of Mexico. The discriminations and the aggressive attitudes that the indigenous groups faces are not coming from the government, it's coming from the society itself. We need to forget these racist and discriminatory attitudes that we have and just respect other cultures.